Hello, namaste. It's Leanne Peters here from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook, and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to answer a question that someone sent in, which was how to do a multiple deck reading. So how to do a card reading using my Healing Energy cards, my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards, and my Speed of Light Oracle cards. And if you're lucky, if you're one of the 1,000 that got one of the other decks, then maybe also the Temple of Balance Oracle cards, which are currently discontinued. So, hello, lovely to see you all. So I'm here with my decks, and I just wanted to introduce, let you know what I'm doing. I'll be saving this and putting it onto YouTube. So I'm going to pause the video now, and I'm going to set up on the table with the camera so you can see the cards laid out. So hold on for just 2 minutes. I'm just going to pause this, I think, and then I'll be back at a different angle. So just bear with me a moment. No, I'm trying to work out how to pause it. Try that. Hello. Oh dear, how amusing. I actually went to do this on my other video camera, and the thing's dead as a doornail, so I'm just getting this set up. Excuse me, and excuse my fluttering around. Okay. So, hello, you can see my hands now on the cards. So basically what the question was is how do I use all decks, all these 3 decks, to do a card reading? So there's so many different ways you could do it. When I read my cards, when I do most of my things, no matter what it is, whether it's readings or healing work or anything really in life, I'm always just trusting my intuition. So for me, I don't have a strict plan or rule in regards to how to do this. It's, to me, very intuitive. So when I do my soul readings, you may have seen me every couple of years. No, usually once, maybe twice a year. For the most part, I've been doing mini soul readings. So when I do mini soul readings, I use all my 3 decks. So what I first of all decide is which is my main deck. So the deck that I class as my main deck. And my main deck in this regard would be my Speed of Light Oracle cards. So that's my main deck. Then I work out my second main deck, which will be the Animal Kingdom. And then my third deck would be the Healing Energy cards. Now, the Healing Energy cards aren't technically designed for readings. They're designed to support our healing journey. So they can actually be used for readings, but they add a healing slant. So unless I'm doing healing work, I won't use these as my main deck. So for reading purposes, for guidance purposes, these would be the third, so my less important deck. So once I've worked out which is my main deck that I'm resonating with, now for you, you may find the Healing Energy cards your main deck. You don't have to do it in my order. This is just how I feel. So then I shuffle the cards, 1 deck at a time, and I'm now thinking in my head, actually let's do a reading for myself. So I'm going to do a reading. I'm going to ask the cards for guidance on my month ahead. So from my middle of January to middle of February, because this is coming to you on the 14th of January. So I'm holding that intention. Please show me what I need to know is what I'm thinking in my head. But for this example, I'm saying it out loud. Please show me what I need to know from the middle of January to the middle of February. Okay, now I split my deck because that's how I always do my card selecting. You pull your cards the way that you always do. And now I close my eyes, and in my mind, I'm asking the cards how they would like to be laid out. And in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a letter of the alphabet, which in this case is the letter Y. So I'm going to lay my cards face down in the letter as the letter Y, like so. So that's my first deck. Now my second deck is the Animal Kingdom. So my Animal Kingdom cards, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So this is exactly what I do when I'm doing a mini soul reading. I just shuffle the deck, I ask what you need to know if I'm connecting with you, and then I just close my eyes and ask for how the cards would like to be placed out. So I'm now, because I'm doing a reading for me, I'm asking the cards to show me what I need to know for the next month, and I just continue shuffling until I feel I need to stop. Split the deck into two without thinking about it. Now I have my eyes closed and I'm asking the cards how they'd like to be laid out. And I'm seeing that starting from here, I'm going down just diagonal, straight on top of the Speed of Light Oracle cards. So that's that. And now with my Healing Energy cards, because these are my, what would you say, the third important deck, I'm not going to lay these out so much. I'm just going to stick like 2 or 3 cards around the place where I just intuitively feel they need to go. So I'm shuffling my cards again, and I'm asking again for the best cards that I need for the next month, what I need to know for my highest truth, and stop when I feel like I need to stop. Now, without thinking, I'm just going to throw some cards down. I'm going to throw one there, there, and there. So that's my layout. Now, I'll turn the cards over because it doesn't matter if they're upside down, I just turn them over. So now I am going to just turn these cards over. Now we've got a featured card up here. I don't know if you can see very clearly. Oh, we're a bit out of shot, aren't we? So I've got a featured card. I'm going to look at the featured card in a minute. I just want to get all the cards turned over, and they end up forming groups and pairs and runs and things that tell me a story. Well, they act as like a window that helps me see further into my future, because this is a reading for me. Now I've got 2 featured cards. I'm going to honour these now, and I'm going to start with the one I turned over first. It says take the 3rd card from the top of the deck. So I'm going to take the 3rd card but put the other 2 back on top and place that down there. And this one here says to breathe deeply and choose a random card. So I'm just going with that card. Sorry if some of this is out of the shot. Might be holding it a bit high. So I'll tuck that underneath here. Now I've got a group here. Oh, actually I'll move them down a bit. We've got a group here of 5 cards. We've got a pair here. We've got a group of 3 cards. 1 card, 1 card. So this I'm now seeing as from now to 1 month, because I asked for 1 month. If I was doing a 6-month spread, it will be now to about 6 months, meaning about 3 months would be here. So we divide it up like a clock, I guess, but like we're dividing up the time. Time is pretty tricky to predict, because I find that time is more based on how fast or how slow we move through things. So if we are resistant and procrastinating on something for a couple of weeks or a couple of months, it's going to delay what potential is coming after we move through that procrastination. So if we move through things fairly quickly, then you know, the timeline sort of moves a bit faster. So it's usually a bit trickier. So then everything in the groups is connected. So let's just share a bit of an example. Let's just go up here to this first area, which should make some sense to me because it's happening now and leading into the next couple of weeks, because it takes me down to about halfway in the spread, and this is a 1 month spread. So we can look at this as about a 2-week time frame from here up. So that tells me that from now into the next 2 weeks that there's going to be a movement here of this guidance. So the first thing is the kangaroo, which talks about, leaping over an obstacle. So this is talking about leaping, but I actually feel for me personally, because this is guidance for me. And this is why it's great doing spreads like this for ourselves while we're getting used to the cards, because we get to see how they relate and fit into our life, which helps give the cards more meaning for us. So this to me is talking about movement. It's talking about making leaps and bounds forward at this time, especially with my creativity, because this card's orange. So this orange energy takes me straight to the sacral chakra, which is, I'm feeling straight away creativity, moving leaps and bounds forward creatively. And that's connected with the lizard. The lizard's very much about looking past the appearances, past the surface. And if you read my current energy report today, or were listening to my video guidance earlier, or if you're in my head, you will know that I am really dropping things below the surface. So there's a sense here of deepening my connection as I take leaps and bounds and keep taking action and moving forward creatively and stepping out of the box creatively. And this is leading me into a special time of connection and a connection with my life. So an opening up, a blossoming, a new life kind of thing opening up for me. So everything in the reading means something, and it will tell a story as you look through the timeline and look down. Now, I've got a big group of cards here for about the 2 to 3 week mark, and these are all around the same line. So the same line, the same level. So a 2 to 3 week mark of something that's important there. So I'm not here to do readings, but or, you know, talk about the reading side of things in that regard, or what the cards mean. But that's a way you can lay out your cards and work with all the decks together if you want to. So let's also look now at another way of working with all these 3 decks together. So that's a really intuitive way to do it. I find working with oracle cards like this, I mean, a lot of people go and then read the guidebook, and it can be great when you're first learning your cards, but it's important to work with these as a tool to help us trust our intuition. What better way to trust our intuition than to pull cards and get familiar with how they feel, what's standing out for them, in them for us individually. Now, I always put my cards back in the middle of the deck. I just break them up because it's uncanny the amount of times that you get the same cards come up again and again and again. You even do that when you divide them up. So another way you might want to work with the 3 decks together, let's say you're going through something in your life right now and you want some guidance or help seeing the bigger picture at this time. You want some resolution or something to help guide you at this time. So if that is the case, if you're going through a healing time, I'd always grab the healing energy cards first, because they're going to always add the most healing guidance that you might need, or that we might need. So we'll grab the healing energy cards and we're just shuffling. And what I'm going to do is pull 2 cards from this deck and then 2 cards from the other deck around this issue. So I don't actually have an issue currently. So let's just pretend that I have a big issue that I'm working on and I need to find a solution or an answer or some other perspective of it. So I'm shuffling and I'd be asking for help, for guidance with this particular issue. And I'm looking for the best 2 cards that can guide me. So then I would end the shuffle, split the deck, because that's the way I always pick my cards. And I'd just lay the cards out like so. Then I'd probably go with the Speed of Light oracle cards next and do the exact same thing. So I'm looking for the best 2 cards that can offer me guidance and assistance with my current issue, if I had an issue. So shuffling those 2, I felt I need to stop, split them in 2, oops, and not put them face up, or putting them face down. And then the same with the Animal Kingdom oracle cards. These all work fantastically together, so it's a great tool to work with, is to work with all the decks together if you're inspired to. So again, same question, same intention, split the deck. Only I split the deck, you don't have to split the deck, so pick the cards the way you always pick them. And then we just turn the cards over. So we're looking for insight. Okay, so we have 2 featured cards. So what I do, that's the Speed of Light Oracle cards. And it says fan the deck and pull a card. So we fan the deck and we add that card to that. And this is the seasonal cycles. This says to take the 3rd card from the top. So we take that. Oh, we've got the Lamb, which came up today in our guidance. So that's how my spread would look if I'm trying to find a solution to an issue or see this from another perspective. So then I'd look at the cards. The healing energy cards are always going to add that healing slant, like I said. The Speed of Light Oracle pack a punch of truth, so they'll really hit it straight on if we need to know. Need to know the truth in the situation if we're ready for it. The Animal Kingdom cards are also very, very accurate, but they're extremely supportive. So we'd look at those. So for this, in this instance, this would be reminding us or suggesting that over the next 3 months, because this is a 3-month cycle card, that we take the message of Lamb, which is to look at ways to uplift ourselves, to enjoy simplicity and a playful energy in our life for the next 3 months to help lighten our load. So that would probably suggest that if this was a specific issue, that we might be making things more complicated and more complex than they need to be. Having the support card come up usually means that we're feeling lack of support. So that's a reminder for us to sort of step up and be there for ourselves. So we look at them individually, we look how they connect in, and we look how they relate to parts of our life at the time. So it's another way you can work with all the decks together. So I think that's all I really need to share about that. I trust that helps you maybe work with your decks a little bit more. If you only have 2 of the decks, then you can, oops, they won't go in there, will they? You can work with just the 2 decks in the same way. If you have a different creators deck, maybe try one of theirs if you want to. See if that works as well. And have fun. Basically just have fun. Trust your intuition, and there's nothing you can really do wrong. Just have some fun with it. So thanks for watching. So these are my Animal Kingdom Oracle cards on my website, my Speed of Light Oracle cards on my website, and the Healing Energy cards. These are 11 years old this year. So they're my oldest deck out of those 3. So you can learn more about them on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. So thanks for connecting, and have fun playing with your cards. I'll chat with you again soon. Thank you. Namaste.